Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta. The gift-giving season is here, and with it comes a surge in demand that many retailers rely on. Last year, the jewelry business saw sales sparkle as pent-up demand helped jewelers have their best Diwali in 25 years. However, surge in price of rough diamonds along with rise in discretionary spending has given rise to worries of a softening demand during this festival season. A spike in polished exports and rough diamond imports has helped keep the sector hopeful, but will that be enough? Sachin Jain is Managing Director of De Beers India. He joins us to now discuss about that and much more. Sachin, hi, happy festivities to you. And if last year was anything to go about, this year is expected to be slightly better on that as well. We do understand that when it comes to natural diamonds as a sector, India accounts for 8% of global demand. What is the kind of growth that you're expecting this year to continue?
First and foremost, Manisha, wish you a very happy festive season as well. And as I was sharing that we sort of sparked off Diwali in our office, in our sector today. So very happy and looking forward to the next week, which is going to be very important. And as you mentioned, last year was by far the best year that the industry has seen ever. And we were very happy that it happened at the time when it was really required. It was almost a comeback of an industry. And right now, the way we see in 2020 move, we think that India is an outlier in the global world. Right now, the demand for India continues to be very, very strong. The numbers that I see on your screen in terms of the share of India, which is about 8% right now, the belief that we have is that it's going to push further up as we go into the coming years. Last year, we saw the market grew at about 22%. And in 2022, we think that there's belief that there will be healthy double-digit growth. Now, to what number we'll see in the next few weeks and months. But we all are very buoyant about what's going to happen. The clear shift is that the acceptance of diamonds and natural diamonds is very high, and the middle-level customer is by far consuming the highest that we've seen over the last few years. And what's led is transparency. What's led is more confidence in the category, and these combined with what natural diamonds really do as a core promise, which is their almost an internal gift of love, and that's really getting consumed and accepted well in the business.
Sachin, when you look at the last couple of years, the diamond prices have clearly surged up after years of consolidating. Will that impact the demand this time around, or do you think because it's a luxury item, it doesn't really impact that segment of crowd? Also, what are you looking at in sense of millennial demand, the new aspirational buyers also coming into the space?
Sure. So I think on your first question, Manisha, if you look at the maximum surge that we saw happen between the 2020 to 2021, I mean, post that, it's almost been, it's been quite steady. And, we all in the industry believe unnecessary spikes aren't great for the business. And we see that perhaps will not be the reason why the market will going to go up or down. That's one. So it's going to be pure led by pure demand and supply. And that we think is a fair balance right now. Now, on your second point on the millennial consumption, we see simplicity coming in. We see the average size of diamond going slightly bigger, which has been a trend we've seen for a few years. But what's really coming in is that really there's a clear divide of something that's very opulent, very big sizes that are doing very well. And we see that the young millennials are looking to buy products they can wear, fall in love with, wear on a daily basis. And that's become the way of life. So we see more, in our world, we see, call it the solitaire-driven pieces, which are more important pieces of diamonds in the centers, stones, and otherwise. That simplicity, along with slightly bigger diamonds, is what we think is going to be largely getting consumed in the coming time.
Sachin, if I had to just look at the ticket size now, if you look at the last 1 year, what was the cheapest diamond sold, the lowest caratage or pointer that is, and what was the most expensive one sold in India?
Well, I mean, there is perhaps no upper limit on diamonds, and that's quite unique about the business. But I would say that diamond jewelry as a whole offering starts at a fairly affordable price. I mean, you can have a decent diamond jewelry for as good as about 10,000 rupees, for example. And the fact is that we believe that every single diamond is a rare gift of Mother Nature. So it's not necessarily that only big size diamonds matter. Yes, they are more rare. Yes, we find it difficult to find them. But diamonds are diamonds, and we think that every diamond represents something. Now, averagely, what we saw, the maximum growth that we saw was in the range of 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees. That was a segment that we saw maximum growth on. And we saw a maximum growth in the big size pieces, which is about 5 lakh plus. So these two segments really did well.
Sachin, I have a final question. And while, of course, we talk about the mother nature and the natural diamonds, but the lab-grown diamonds seem to be making those inroads and at a very fast pace and in the interiors of the country as well. What is the business there? What is the kind of growth you're anticipating?
Well, I think, Manisha, the growth that we've seen over the last couple of years is unprecedented, and I'm talking about natural diamond business, and that's happened because of what natural diamonds do and they stand for. So they stand for longevity, they stand for an asset class, they stand for a true gift that Mother Nature has. Now, the point is that lab-grown diamonds have a place in the market. Certainly they do. I mean, we've seen it happen over the last few years. But clearly, I foresee over the next couple of years, they will form a space which is going to be fun, frolic, not value-based, and not perhaps for important occasions of life. That's why we see this industry getting towards, because as more you produce in the factories, the less or the more cheaper it gets. It's as simple as that. It's a technological product, and whereas natural diamonds are a gift from Mother Nature, that whole value and have a representation. So they're completely two different areas. I don't think that there'll be complete overlap. And I think over the next few years, you'll see this getting clearly bifurcated in the minds and most importantly, the hearts of the consumers. Because they will know what they're investing in, what they're buying, and what clearly gets represented by important moments of life and things that hold value, whereas something else, which will be maybe much more fun, frolic, easy. And, perhaps there's a very different segment.
I get it. You clearly are branding it very separately on both of those diamonds. I get that. That's a strategy there. I have one final fun question for you. I've been talking to a lot of industry representatives, and while they tell us, yes, earlier it was for spouse buying, and then it came about a woman buying diamonds for herself. And, the way the numbers are stacking up, there's a lot of men buying diamonds for themselves too.
And women buying diamonds for men.
For men, okay.
That's an interesting. But yes, I mean, I see that metrosexuality, that's acceptance of how you believe you can get represented, is getting more simpler. Earlier, certain geographies were only where men jewelry was popular. I think it's getting more wider. Some segments of young and millennial and even Gen Z consumers are accepting jewelry as men, and that's a very interesting segment that we all will be very keen to build up.
Oh, absolutely. And the numbers do look strong there, and we'll keep an eye on to that one as well. Sachin, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Happy festivities to you, and we do hope that the industry does great numbers this festival season as well.
Thank you so much, Manisha. Wish you the same and have a great season.
Thank you.
All the best.
And on that note, it's time for a very short break, but don't go anywhere. When we return, we will talk about investing in gold after this very short break.